Hello, welcome to Lemon Studios, where we talk movies, television, and wrestling. I'm, of course, Lemon himself, Zeke Lemon, and this is my review for the 2026 Royal Rumble. But before we get into that, let's get the house clean out of the way. Share it, leave a like. Comment below, let me know your thoughts on the Royal Rumble, and of course, hit that subscribe button as it helps me grow into my YouTube career. I would greatly appreciate it. Now, all that out of the way, let's get into it, shall we? So, yeah, the Royal Rumble live from Saudi Arabia, from a stadium that was built within 21 days. A very interesting card, to say the least. Wondering how are we going to do this? Which ways are we going to go about it? And ultimately, WWE decided to play it safe. And I overall don't see anything wrong with that, especially after last year overall, where I feel like there was some risk and some choices, especially, when it comes to Jey Uso winning it. So this year, the female Rumble match, there was no way they were going to gamble on a young lady who is not completely fully established, right? They were going to go with one of the bigger names, like a Rhea Ripley, an Io Sky, Liv Morgan, who did ultimately win in the end, just because, again, it's Saudi Arabia, and for the women, it's already hard enough for them. So, to take a risk on a up-and-coming superstar and give them the W, as opposed to, hey, let's just give it to someone established, or someone who just needs a couple of extra ticks. Liv Morgan, to me, was the best choice to make. And ultimately, I feel like that's the one where not a lot of people have a lot of pushback against. I feel like we all agree Liv Morgan does absolutely deserve it. She does, especially after what she's had. I kind of liked the ongoing storyline that she's just constantly runner-up. I think it was on 39, she was the runner-up. On the Rumble up to 40, she was also the runner-up. And then 41, she was also the runner-up. And then the Chamber, she's also the runner-up. She talked about that on the post-show as well. And I honestly would have minded if we would have kept that going a little bit longer. But nope, this was her year. And, Saudi now, she is like extra 10 LP points when it comes to her, because she won her first world championship. Well, not her first world championship, but her first women's world championship. That specific title in Saudi Arabia. She won the Crown Jewel Championship in Saudi Arabia, and now she has won her Royal Rumble in Saudi Arabia. So she does really good in Saudi. Overall, as for the Rumble itself, I'm like most people. I didn't love the Women's Rumble this year. I feel like there were some bursts. As some people I wanted to shout out in this one. One person I feel like a lot of people weren't giving a lot of credit to was Kiana James. Now, that first half, yes, was a little bit of a slog, right? Because one, people just weren't getting thrown out. I feel like we got until maybe entry 9. Was it 9 or 10 until someone finally got eliminated and we started doing eliminations throughout? The Charlotte and Alexa stuff at first, really intriguing stuff, don't get me wrong. Ultimately, though, it kind of just felt a little awkward to me. But Kiana James, I felt like, was doing a really good job when she came in at 3, and I feel like she had some really good bursts. She had some really good moments throughout the whole entire way through. I was actually kind of sad to see her go, because, again, I thought her performance was really good. Of course, Lash Legend, who was probably the MVP of that whole entire Royal Rumble. She was really not a saving grace when it came to the second half, but a real vocal point. I mean, she was throwing out bodies like left and right. I think she did 5, which, correct me if I'm wrong, is the record for women's most eliminations now. So that was pretty cool to see her eliminating both Bella Twins. I will say, I'm part of the camp. One, I'm happy for Brie. She should have been back way long ago. Maybe it should have been Evolution, or hell, even WrestleMania 41 when we finally got her back. But I hate her theme song. I absolutely hate it. So when her music hit, it was like oh my god, oh yeah, I love Brie. Because I do. I really do love Brie. But damn, man, that Brie mode was, it's like nails on a chalkboard. It's like up there with the Excuse Me from Vicky Guerrero. And if you know, you know. Like, that's just how bad I find that theme song. But really happy to see her back. I will say, not just for the women, but for the men's as well, a little bit of a lack of surprises. And I think that's where most people are upset at. And I don't think that's necessarily fair. One, yeah, there was no Bianca Belair and there was no AJ Lee. Those were the main two that we really expected to see in the Women's Rumble. WWE never made note of that, saying that they were declaring or even hinted at that in their programming. We as fans came to that conclusion, and we came to that conclusion very hard. So I don't think it's necessarily fair for us to be like, oh, well, they didn't get Saraya, AJ Lee, and Becky Lynch, so therefore this Rumble sucks. No, you fantasy booked that, and therefore, since you didn't get that, I'm definitely one of them too. I thought Saraya was coming back too. Once we got to, I think it was 28 or 29. Yeah, it was 29. I was like, well, 2 to 3 ain't coming back. And then it was Brie. I was like, well, 2 of the 3 aren't coming back now. So again, it's all fun to speculate and like have all these fantasy booking scenarios about these people coming back. But if they don't, and if WWE didn't even give any hints to that whatsoever, then I honestly don't think it's fair for you to say, hey, the Rumble match was crappy overall because these people weren't there. Overall, though, I don't think people are necessarily saying that, though. Again, it was just a little bit of a tale of two halves. It took until Rhea Ripley, Io Sky, Lash Legend, again, that second half, she was really, really cooking in there. That's when, to me, the Rumble really started to pick up steam. And, of course, and again, Liv Morgan eliminating Raquel Rodriguez, I thought was really, really cool, too. I have Raquel winning on Monday. I think she should win. And then we play this constantly like, well, obviously you're going to pick the WWE Women's Champion. You're going to go after Jade. And then as the weeks progress, I would actually really like it, and we'll get to it when we get to the Roman portion of the Rumble, is that the Rumble winner does not choose their champion until post-Elimination Chamber. Because, when we did last year, especially with how far back WrestleMania is now, with Charlotte and Jay picking their people before, those stories were really, really timid, like really, really stretched thin once we got to the end. They picked up after the Elimination Chamber because there was full focus, and we weren't just like twiddling on thumbs a little bit here. We got 4 weeks until the Chamber. Let's focus on the Chamber. Let's get that locked in a way. We know the Elimination Chamber winners are going to face the opposite opponent of that. Let's just focus on really breaking up the Judgment Day, Raquel winning, and continue to show their shades of gray, like a difference of power and so much inform, or hell, even go back to the Bayley and Io Sky program at WrestleMania 40 for that matter. And that could be something that we do again. It's been, 2 years since that? I say, yeah, we could probably go back to that well, especially with these different set of characters here, and expand on that and build that program up. And I think we could get Stephanie in there. We could do another triple threat for that matter. It's not that I don't want Stephanie in WrestleMania. It's just I think the story of the Judgment Day and the breaking up, especially Raquel and Liv, who have been together for so long, deserves a WrestleMania program. And I also think Raquel just deserves the title at this point. But again, we will see Monday. We'll see if my fantasy booking got the best of me. But yeah, I would hold off declaring who they are going for until either the Chamber, the week before the Chamber, or right after the Chamber. All right, let's get the full throttle. We're tearing the knob off. Now we're going straight focus into WrestleMania. As for the cards that weren't Rumbles, AJ Styles versus Gunther, Drew McIntyre versus Sami Zayn. And like I said, overall the show, if I had to sum it up within a word would be safe. AJ Styles versus Gunther, arguably the match of the night, which is saying something due to that we did have 2 Royal Rumble matches on this card. But, it was the one match where I feel like there was jeopardy in some way, shape, or form. Like a bunch of the near falls, it got me. I was like, no, kick out AJ. Yes, he kicked out. No, AJ, break out. Yes, he did. Oh, no, we got him. Gunther's going down 1, 2. Oh, no, he kicked out. Like, there was a bunch of times where I actually bought in, and I was being worked throughout the whole entire match. I did not know really which way it was going to go until it got to the end where, just like the John Cena match, I was like, AJ's losing. And sure enough, he passed out and he lost. Good match overall. Now, he did not put the gloves down, right? Now, we're going to overthink it as wrestling fans. I'm also taking that. I know what was said on the post show, that he told people that he is done with in-ring competition. I understand that. But he did not put the gloves down. And also, for someone who made their name outside of WWE, I don't mind him finishing his career outside of WWE, especially with some of the matchups that I would really like to see from him. So, if this is it for AJ Styles, good for him. I mean, he is truly going out, really never having a bad match. There's a good match, then there's an AJ Styles good match, and he either had just a good match or it was a fantastic match. And to go out with always having that kind of resume where you never felt like, oh, AJ, it's probably time to hang it up, bud. It's amazing to see, and I am sad to see him go. I was a little emotional as he was walking out, then walking back in, but I wasn't as sad as I thought it would be, and I do think it's because that he might be going elsewhere to wrestle a little bit, and more power to him if he does decide to do that. Drew McIntyre versus Sami Zayn. Fine match. But again, obvious winner. There was no way Sami Zayn was going to win. That's really all I got to say about that match. I mean, it was fun. I had fun watching it. I didn't hate myself. It wasn't a bad match whatsoever. It just lacked any jeopardy. I was like, well, Drew's obviously going to hold on to the title. And sure enough, he did. And, I really don't see any need to continue on talking about that match. Now, let's get into the Men's Rumble. And I felt like this one was a little bit of the opposite of the women's. I felt like it started out very, very strong. And then at the end, it kind of started to deteriorate once the winner became very, very obvious. My picks for the Rumble winner was either LA Knight or Jacob Fatu. I feel like if you could take a gamble on any of the Rumbles, it would have been the men's one. But at the end of the day, they decided to play safe and they went to Roman. Look, WWE is no longer in that peak stratosphere that it was when we were on the road to 40, right? 41, all of 2025, as much as I love John Cena, that was a big clog. That was what got WWE through 2025, was the Farewell World Tour. But within that, you're taking spots away from other up-and-coming superstars who could have got a little bit more established. So now, they're not setting new gate records, right? Or they're not selling out arenas as consistently as they once were. So what are they going to do? They're going to go back to what worked, and that was Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns talked about it within character on the Pat McAfee show. He wins it. As for some other performances, some storylines, Obafemi was really good until he got tossed out unceremoniously. Jey Uso took way too damn long to get to the ring. Really happy for Powerhouse Hobbs, or Royce Keys, as we should call him now, for getting in there. Has some good spots within the whole entire thing. The only thing that kind of sucked about this Rumble was the crowd in some way. Now, honestly, the Saudi people who were there, now I know there's a lot of back and forth of, was the place full, was the place not full? I'm not really here to get into that, because the people who were there did make noise for the things they cared about. Mr. Iguana, I was super happy to see him. Saudi Arabia did not care. La Parka, I was excited to see that. Saudi Arabia did not care. And Powerhouse Hobbs / Royce Keys, I feel like they didn't give the energy that it should. Like, at first it was a big pop, and I did hear a faint AEW chant, but overall it was really nothing. And of course there was no Chris Jericho as well. Another fantasy booking that we decided to implement on this. Like, this is happening no matter what. It's a done deal. And obviously it wasn't. And that is completely okay. Obafemi getting the 5 eliminations at first. It's like, okay, yes, we're booking him right. Then he gets in the ring with Brock. He gets suplexed, and then he kind of gets thrown over the top rope. LA Knight comes in. I thought if he comes in, he has to eliminate all the members of the Vision. Braun Breaker got eliminated by Obafemi because of the Masked Man. Wasn't a huge fan of that spot just because I feel like we've done the Masked Man way too many times at this point, or it was too early to go back to it. Like, we just did it in November, and now we're doing it again here in January. It's not even been 2 months, bud. But yeah, he throws out Bronson Reed. He also throws out Austin Theory. He did not get Logan Paul because they needed him for the Final Four for some reason. And then he just gets eliminated by Cody Rhodes. And I don't think we're going to do that program. So that kind of felt unceremonious for me in that aspect. Brock Lesnar getting eliminated during Jey Uso's theme song was pretty funny to me. Really messing up. Look, y'all know my thoughts on Brock Lesnar. I don't really care for him anymore. I feel like it's pretty stale at this point. when it comes to his character. I think we just need a little re-amp when it comes to him. But, you know, clearly WWE sees him as a really big star. So when he gets eliminated, it should be a really big deal. And it was LA Knight and Cody Rhodes who eliminated him. So unless we're doing LA Knight versus Brock Lesnar, which I really don't think we're doing, then I don't know what the hell that was about, especially with the beans and ceremonies. There was a missed opportunity there. But also that could have been the fact that Jey Uso just took way too damn long to get to the freaking ring. And, you know, for the people who are upset that, oh, the running back shake is done, you haven't been to a show. I've been in the crowd when the Yeet thing was going on. And if he was to say run it back, I would have been all about it no matter where it was happening within the show. It's one of those things that if you're there, you love it. If you're not there, you are kind of deteriorated by it. As long as it's not at the opening of Raw after we have a video package and then we see everybody coming into the arena because for some reason we have to see everyone show up to the arena. Then he comes out and then we do it. Then, you know, it was way too much. But in the middle of the show, especially in a match like the Royal Rumble, that's going to go an hour 30 anyway, it's completely fine. The El Grande Americano spot, I enjoyed it, but again, the Saudi crowd did not really care for it at all. And yeah, Roman wins. Who is he going to pick? If I was the booker, I would choose Drew, but I feel like they're going to do Punk because obviously we're going to do the triple threat between Jacob, Cody, and Drew McIntyre, especially with Drew eliminating Cody. There's no way Cody's not involved in the WWE title with Drew McIntyre. So, yeah, I mean, look, it is what it is. Did I hate it? No. I didn't mind Roman Reigns winning again. Would I have done that? No. But now, here we are. So he is most likely going to face CM Punk, which will be fine. That's a WrestleMania main event for sure, especially worthy of night 2. Hopefully post-Chamber, Roman does show up for a good chunk. That'll be a good 6 weeks of Roman, maybe, or if we can at least get 4. If I get at least 4 out of the 6 weeks of Roman Reigns, I think we can call this a win on the build to WrestleMania. That's only 2 shows where Roman does not show up. But yeah, you know, it's fine. The Royal Rumble was a fine show. But again, I think WWE is starting to take those steps into getting back to where they were when it comes to 41. Will it work? We will remain to be seen. Do I want it to work? Yes, I always want wrestling to be successful, but I also wouldn't necessarily mind it because if they do struggle and we go back to being niche, that means the shows become affordable again. So clearly I see this as a win-win. Either I get great product on my TV or I'll be able to afford to go to the shows again. But as for the Royal Rumble itself, I thought it was a good show. I'm looking forward to Raw. I think there's a lot of intrigue when it comes to it. Now that we got the Saudi stuff behind us, until next year when WrestleMania is in Saudi Arabia. And then after that, maybe we can be done with them having the really big shows. But yeah, let me know y'all thoughts of it down in the comment section. Leave a like if you made it this far within a review. I do greatly appreciate it. Hit that subscribe button as it helps me grow into my YouTube career. And don't forget to squeeze the days, guys, because life is too short not to give you all. So squeeze every opportunity that you can. Until next time, I'll see you here at Lemon Studios.